Not the wrinkles, not the silver hair, not the way you walk, not even the tone of your voice. It's the pair of glasses you're wearing that quietly tells others you're tired, drained, or that you've given up on yourself. You might be wearing your favorite blouse. You might have put on a touch of makeup, a little perfume, but just one wrong pair of glasses and your whole presence fades, as if you no longer want to be seen. You used to be the kind of woman who lit up a room. No need for noise. No need to try. Just your gaze and the quiet confidence of being fully present. But the years passed. You changed. Softer. Wiser. Your glasses, though, didn't. And every time you look in the mirror, you feel something doesn't quite fit anymore. Not because you've become weaker, but because that old frame is dulling the light in your eyes. The problem isn't your age. It's how you let others see you. Your glasses don't just help you see. They're the first thing others notice. They shape your eyes, your expression, your entire energy. They silently define you without your permission. And today, we're going to change that. You're not just going to learn how to choose the right glasses. You're going to relearn how to let the world see the real you, the woman who is still radiant, still alive, still absolutely worth a second look. 5 mistakes that make your glasses age you silently. 1. Outdated frames, telling the wrong story about you. You haven't stopped moving forward. But your glasses are saying the opposite. Have you ever wondered why someone looks at you and quickly looks away? Even when you're dressed nicely, smiling gently, speaking softly, something about you still doesn't make them stay long enough to really see your beauty. It's not you. It's the thing right in the middle of your face, that outdated pair of glasses you've worn for years. Maybe it's a small silver rectangle. Maybe it's those thick brown frames you got during a long-ago sale. Maybe it's the pair you once loved, but no longer reflect who you are, because you have changed. They haven't. Outdated glasses aren't just outdated. They tell the wrong story about you. They quietly say to others, I've stayed too long in one place. I don't care about the small things anymore. It doesn't matter how I'm seen, but that's not true. You still live fully every single day. You still listen to your favorite music. You still water the little flowers on your porch. You still call your daughter to ask if your grandchild ate well. You still care. You're still here. You're still vibrant, but that glow can't shine through a tired old frame. It gets blocked, dimmed, misunderstood. The issue isn't function. You can still see clearly, but others, they can't see you clearly. The image they get is a faded, outdated version of you, lacking light, all because of the wrong frame. Have you ever looked at a recent photo of yourself? Really looked? What's the first thing that hits you? Not your lipstick, not your hairline. It's the glasses and the energy they send out. And then, a quiet question rises. Sometimes it stings just a bit. I feel alive. So why do I look like I've given up? Glasses don't lie, but they can speak the wrong truth. And if you keep letting them represent you, you're letting one meaningless detail define your entire self today. Don't wait until someone asks, why haven't you changed your glasses? And to realize, you've been dimming your own light for far too long, because outdated glasses are just the beginning. What comes next isn't just about the story being told wrong. It's about how they actually pull your whole face. Down. 2. Downward sloping frames, quietly dragging your face. Down, some glasses don't tell the wrong story. They simply pull your face downward, bit by bit, every single day. You feel healthy. You still feel joyful. But someone looks at you and says, you look tired today. You smile. But they don't smile back. Not because you aren't radiant, but because your eyes look pulled down. Your cheeks appear saggy. That usual brightness in your face now seems muted, even when you're not sad. You did nothing wrong, but the frames you chose may have quietly betrayed you. So many women after 60 make the same mistake, choosing glasses with heavy rims, frames that are thicker on the bottom than the top, or designs that slope downward toward the temples. On paper, they look modern. But once they sit on a real face, especially one that has gently lost some of its natural lift, they begin to fall. And that fall isn't just about shape. It drags down your eyelids. It flattens your expressions. It makes your face, still full of life, get mistaken for being sad, stiff, or simply tired. Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered, why do my eyes look more sunken today? Have you ever deleted a photo because I look too drained in this one? The problem might not be you. It might be your glasses, pulling your face downward silently, day after day. This is where your inner light gets broken, not because it isn't there, but because something is subtly directing all attention downward. And women after 60 don't need anything else pulling them down. Enough. Time has already done its part. Now is the time to choose things that lift you up, even if it's something as small as the shape of a frame. Here's the scarier question. How many people have misunderstood you just because one design sloped downward by 3 millimeters? Don't let one flawed detail destroy your first impression. Because sometimes all it takes is one glance that sees you right, to remind the world of who you truly are. And that starts with a pair of glasses. That doesn't pull you down. But if you think this is the only reason your face has lost its usual brightness, wait for the next mistake. Because what's coming next is even subtler, a color you thought was safe, that's quietly dulling your skin and darkening your eyes, day by day. 3. The wrong frame color. Dulling your skin, making your gray hair look lifeless. Not every color is truly neutral, and not every color is meant for you, especially when you've reached the age where every shade can either light up your face or make it quietly fade. You once thought black frames were a safe choice. That silver meant modern. Those dark tones go with everything. But did you know, just one wrong color can swallow all the natural light in your skin, your hair, your eyes. And the worst part? You don't even notice it. You just look in the mirror and feel like something's dull. Your skin is less rosy. Your eyes are more tired. Your white hair suddenly looks faded. The lipstick is the same. The foundation hasn't changed. But something's different. The light around you has been dimmed by a pair of glasses in the wrong color. Black frames on warm-toned skin can feel too harsh, too heavy. They box your face in. Cool-toned silver next to white hair can flatten the richness of your hair, making it look dusty. Cool-colored frames on golden or olive skin can highlight every shadow under the eye, every soft crease, every small sign of aging you'd rather not spot. You don't need to study color theory. Just try it for yourself. Try a black frame, then switch to a soft champagne tone. And suddenly, the light comes back, as if your face can finally breathe again. Because color isn't just aesthetic. It's light, and light either makes you glow or makes you fade. So the question is, when people look at you, do they see a face with light in it? Or do they just see a dark frame that hides the energy you still carry? Women after 60 don't need to wear bright red blouses or blazing orange lipstick to stand out. But you do need the right frame color to give your skin a chance to radiate from within. To let your silver hair look not dull, but luminous, proud, just like the years you've lived. A touch of warm gold, a hint of deep rosewood, a gentle smoky blush, or simply a clear frame. And suddenly, people start looking at you longer, not because you're flashy, but because you have light. But if the wrong frame color can dim the glow inside you, the next mistake is even more dangerous. It doesn't just block others from seeing you, it makes you disappear behind oversized glasses that take over your whole face. 4. Oversized frames, hiding your presence. You once thought, big glasses are modern. Larger frames mean style, but sometimes the very thing you thought was making you stand out is what's quietly making you disappear. Oversized frames don't make you look fashion-forward. They make it harder for people to see your eyes, to read your expression, to recognize the presence that still lives in you. Do you know why some portraits feel so captivating? It's not because the person is more beautiful than you. It's because their eyes are clear. Their expressions are bright. They're not hidden behind a massive frame that swallows half their face. Oversized frames do that. They take over. They press down. They drown out all the subtle expressions on your face, the soft smile, the tiny frown, the warmth in your gaze, all lost under a thick, heavy block of plastic. And the sad part? You don't see it until someone takes a picture of you. You look at the photo and see yourself somewhere behind the lenses, but not clearly, not sharply, not vibrantly. Just a pair of glasses dominating the whole frame. Have you ever asked, why do I look so dull in this picture? It's not the camera. It's not the lighting. It's that your gaze was hidden. People say, the eyes are the windows to the soul, but if your glasses turn that window into a foggy wall, how will anyone ever see in? You don't have to wear tiny, delicate frames, but you do need frames that know when to stop. That support, not steal the show. That lift you up rather than weighs you down. The right frame is the one that makes people say, you look amazing today. And the wrong frame is the one they only remember as those big glasses you always wear. So ask yourself, do you want them to remember your eyes or the thing that covered them up? You don't have to lose your style. You just have to remember, presence doesn't come from size. It comes from balance. But if oversized glasses have been hiding you, then the next mistake is even more personal. It's the kind that makes you feel heavy, tired, or short of breath without even knowing why. Because your glasses don't fit, and they've been pushing you out of alignment, little by little, every day. 5. Ill-fitting glasses. Wrong proportions, wrong connection. Not everyone notices this, but I want you to think back to a recent moment. You were speaking, your heart full, sharing something that mattered, but the other person didn't really look at you. Their eyes drifted. They seemed unsure. They couldn't fully connect with the warmth you were offering. And the reason wasn't in your story. It was in your glasses, slipping slightly down your nose, blocking the light in your eyes. Ill-fitting glasses aren't a big mistake, but they create constant, tiny disconnects. And over time, those small things add up until your presence feels distant, stiff, unnatural. Even if you're not trying to be. A frame that's too tight leaves marks on the nose. One that's too loose slips low and casts shadows beneath your eyes. A lopsided frame makes your gaze tilt slightly, and suddenly you look hesitant or unsure of yourself. The heartbreaking part is you don't notice these things in the mirror, but others do, and they can't name it. They just sense it. Something feels off. And when people sense that you're not comfortable, they unconsciously take a step back. Have you ever smiled warmly, but no one returned it with that same spark in their eyes? It might not be your smile. It might be the frame blocking the emotion in your gaze, the very place people connect with your heart. You don't need expensive frames, but you do need frames that fit the proportions of your current face. After 60, your features change. Your nose may sit lower. Your cheeks may soften. Your skin becomes more sensitive. A pair of glasses that fit perfectly at 50 might now be just slightly wrong. And that slight shift creates an entirely wrong impression. Try this. Adjust your glasses just 2 millimeters higher. Then look in the mirror. You'll see the difference instantly. Brighter eyes. Clearer emotions. A face that feels open again. The right pair of glasses doesn't need to be stunning. It just needs to sit in the right place with the right balance so it doesn't distort the most precious thing, the way you look at the world, and the way the world looks back at you. And when that happens, everything changes. You're no longer the tired woman fading behind the frame. You are yourself, clear, bright, beautifully real. Because these small mistakes, crooked fit, wrong color, heavy lines, when corrected, can transform everything. And now, it's time for the best part. 5 frame styles that lift your face, brighten your look, and take years off your appearance without a single cosmetic trick. 1. Cat eye, upward swept frames, lifting your face, brightening your gaze. It's not that your eyes are tired. It's not that your cheeks have sunken. Sometimes, it's just that the glasses you're wearing are pulling your entire expression downward. And just by switching to a frame with a gentle upward curve, angled softly toward your temples, you might be surprised by the woman you see in the mirror. Cat eye frames, or any shape with a soft upward sweep, are not too youthful or too trendy to wear. On the face of a woman with life experience, they can act like a quiet lift, gentle, natural, and effective. With no tricks, no heavy makeup. Imagine this. You step out of the house. No foundation, just a touch of lipstick. But the moment you put on those cat-eye glasses, your eyes light up. Your temples feel lifted. Your cheekbones look higher. Your whole expression feels awakened, as if someone softly turned on a light from within. No one even needs to say it. You know it. Today, I look refreshed, alive. Do you know why this frame has existed since the 50s and 60s and never disappeared? Because it uplifts the gaze. It draws the eye upward, not down. It creates the simplest illusion. Your face is lifted without anything artificial. And you, the woman who once entered every room with that vivid, unforgettable look in her eyes, you deserve a frame that keeps that light shining. This isn't about fashion. It's about presence. You can try any shape, but if you've never worn a cat eye, try it at least once. It doesn't have to be sharp or dramatic. Just a soft, angled line, enough to guide your eyes one breath higher. And if you're wondering, do cat eye frames really suit silver hair or skin with a few lines? And the answer is they suit you best. Because when the face has softened, matured, and become more graceful, those gentle angels in the frame can bring back the character, energy, and spark that got hidden under flat, heavy, downward drooping glasses. And if something as small as a frame angle can lift your entire expression, then what's coming next is even more magical, a color that doesn't just lift, but softly lights up your whole face, as if someone turned on a warm, invisible lamp from within. 2. Clear or light-colored frames, reflecting the light back to your face. No one compliments your glasses. They just say, "You look so bright today," because the glow doesn't come from the frame. It comes from your face, when it's surrounded by the right kind of reflection. Here's a quiet little secret almost no one talks about. Clear or light-colored frames are among the safest, most face-lifting, and most complimented options, even though no one can quite remember what style you were wearing. The reason is simple. These frames don't hide you. They give the light back to you. While black, silver, or dark-colored frames often absorb light, making your face look more shadowed, your eyes more sunken, your skin duller clear frames, or soft tones like champagne, smoky rose, pale beige, or misty blue do the opposite. They bounce the light onto your skin. You don't need bold lipstick, blush cheeks, or a bright foundation. Just the right color frame, and the light will naturally lift your cheekbones, illuminate under your eyes, and make you look like you just had a good night's sleep, or like someone just made your day. And the best part, you don't have to try hard. You just have to pick the right material, the right tone. Clear frames never weigh your face down. They're like a sheer mist, supporting your features without reshaping who you are. Light-colored frames do the same. They're like a gentle friend, stepping back to let your face take center stage. You can go fully transparent like crystal or matte acrylic, or explore soft colors, pale beige, dusty rose, translucent gray, sea glass blue tones that may seem muted but quietly brighten your complexion, soften your eyes, and make your silver hair glow. What's important is, these frames don't look childish. They don't take away your maturity. In fact, it's their simplicity that lets your wisdom shine. That highlights your elegance without needing to announce it. So the real question is, do you want people to notice your glasses? Or do you want them to see how truly radiant you are inside them? And if you just nodded to that, then the next part is going to make you even happier. Because it's not just about color. Even patterns can help light up your face if you know how to choose them right. 3. Soft tortoiseshell patterns, adding depth without harshness. Some things don't need to be loud to make people stop and take a second look. Like your gaze, seasoned, gentle, and quietly making every room feel a little more breathable. Tortoiseshell frames, when chosen right, carry that same effect. Not flashy, not glossy, not something that makes people gasp at first glance. But the longer they look, the more they're drawn in. Because it's not about the shape, it's about visual depth and emotional depth. You've already passed through bold colors, sharp trends. Now, you want something that honors the beauty that has settled within you, not something that tries to exaggerate it. Soft tortoiseshell, often called mottled, has a quiet warmth all its own. A gentle blend of browns, caramel, amber, maybe a hint of smoky rose or lavender gray. It's not one color. It's a life story, not loud, not flat, but layered, like you. Always more to discover if someone looks just a little longer. And the beautiful thing is, these frames almost never go out of style. They're not chasing trends. They don't feel dated either. Because when done right, tortoiseshell feels like something made for you, not something pulled off a factory shelf. Have you noticed? As your face softens with age, a little texture, a gentle pattern, can actually make you glow more. It adds visual depth around the eyes and cheeks. It breaks up the flatness that solid colors sometimes bring. It reflects light without creating harsh contrast like black frames. It lifts without ever pushing. And more than anything, it whispers, "This woman doesn't need attention." But still, you can't look away. Tortoiseshell frames in smoky brown, soft blush beige, or pale lavender haze pair beautifully with silver hair and neutral skin tones. They create a flow from the glasses to the hair to the skin that feels whole, not separate. If you've ever thought, "I don't know what color feels just right," this might be the answer. Because sometimes you don't need to stand out. You just need to give people a feeling that there's something about you that's real, beautiful, and quietly deep. And if the tortoiseshell brings depth, then the next frame style is like a soft breeze across your face, barely noticeable yet somehow soothing to everyone who sees you. 4. Rounded, soft geometry frames, in harmony with a face that has grown gentle over time. It's not that your face has lost definition. It's just softened. Less angular, less sharp. No longer chasing bold edges, but embracing curves that have learned to step back and make space for calm. And when your face has quieted, you need a frame that won't shout. No fighting your bone structure. No hard corners trying to add drama. You need something that simply exists beside you, the way your presence does now. Rounded frames or soft geometric shapes like ovals, teardrops, gentle circles, or curved squares aren't symbols of safety. They're symbols of acceptance, of harmony. You're no longer trying to compete with yourself. You want a frame that listens to your face and quietly settles in, bringing every line into flow. Many people over 60 still try on sharp frames, hoping to keep some edge. But that goes against what your face now needs. Because when your cheeks soften and your jawline is no longer crisp, it's the soft curves that bring it all together, that make your face look whole, deep, and more graceful than ever. Think back to the last time you saw an older woman whose face felt warm, peaceful. You might not remember the exact frame she wore, but you remember the feeling. She seemed so kind, so grounded, so dignified. That's the effect a well-chosen rounded frame can have when it's the right size, made from the right material, and placed gently on a face that has been through many seasons of life. Try an oval frame if your face is square. Try a soft round if your face is long. Try a curved square if you have fuller cheeks. But above all, don't choose a frame to fight your face. Choose one that flows with it, that lifts it gently without changing who you are. And maybe that's how you live now, too. Not trying to be seen, not pushing to stand out, just showing up fully, quietly, in your own rhythm. Rounded frames don't just suit a softened face. They make a quiet statement. I'm still here, not loud, but entirely present. And if that's the image of stillness, then what comes next is a declaration of freedom. A pair of glasses so light, so clear, it almost disappears, yet somehow makes people want to look at you even more. 5. Rimless or semi-rimless glasses. When you want your gaze to be the focus, not the frame. There are women who don't wear bold colors, don't pile on jewelry, don't say anything grand or loud. But the moment they look at you, you pause. Because in their eyes is something real, a calm strength, a quiet depth, and a kind of trustworthiness you feel more than understand. If you're that kind of woman, or if you're finding your way back to her, then rimless or semi-rimless glasses may be exactly what you've been looking for. No thick borders, no loud colors, no flashy designs. Just a clean, nearly invisible line, so light you may forget you're even wearing them. But it's in that invisibility that something else comes forward, your eyes. There's nothing blocking the space between you and someone else. No heavy frame absorbing the light. No distraction splitting your expression in two. Instead, all attention goes straight to your gaze. Where your intelligence lives, your compassion listens, and your truest self quietly shines through. Rimless or semi-rimless glasses are often the lightest to wear. They don't press into your nose. They don't leave marks. They don't cause headaches at the end of a long day. You don't have to tolerate or adjust to your glasses because you'll barely notice they're there. And more than anyone, a woman over 60 deserves lightness. Not just in thought, but in the little things she carries with her each day. Think back to the last time you stepped outside with no makeup, no effort, and yet someone said, "There's something so captivating about you." It wasn't the clothes. It wasn't lipstick. It was the eyes in full view in clear light, uncovered. That's what rimless glasses can offer if you choose the right pair. Because sometimes less isn't about lacking. Sometimes less is about making space for what truly matters to come through, the depth of your expression, not the boldness of a border. The truth in your gaze, not the sharpness of a line. The woman, not the accessory. Rimless glasses aren't for everyone. They're for those who've lived enough to understand this truth. You don't need to highlight yourself loudly to leave an impression that lasts. And now, if you've begun to imagine the kind of frames that could lift you, then maybe what matters most is no longer the style, but whether that frame fits the woman you've become. You've just walked through 5 common mistakes that seemed harmless, and 5 frame styles that seem simple. But the truth is, these small choices can bring back an entire radiance you thought you had lost. Only it was never gone. It was just hidden. Hidden behind the wrong frame, a mismatched color, a shape that pulls your energy the wrong way. You don't need to look young again. You just need to see yourself clearly. And choose a pair of glasses that helps the world see that same light in you too. Because every woman after 60 is her own kind of light. Not glittering, but present. And if one moment in this video made you think, yes, that's me, then tell us in the comments. Because you are not invisible. Sometimes all it takes is one small change, and suddenly you shine in a way no one else can. Beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself. Coco Chanel.